ভাৰত পাকিস্তানৰ দুই DGMOৰ বৈঠক দুপৰীয়া 12 বজাত অনুষ্ঠিত হ'ব বৈঠক শনিবাৰে দুই DGMOৰ কেইবা ঘণ্টা ধৰি বৈঠকৰ অন্তত হৈছিল যুদ্ধবিৰতি আজি দুই DGMOৰ দ্বিতীয় পৰ্যায়ৰ আলোচনা আছে আৰু আজি গোটেই বিশ্বৰ দৃষ্টি নিবদ্ধ থাকিব গোটেই সমগ্ৰ দেশবাসীৰ দৃষ্টি আজি নিবদ্ধ থাকিব আজি ভাৰত পাকিস্তানৰ দুই DGMOৰ বৈঠক আছে দুপৰীয়া 12 বজাত অনুষ্ঠিত হ'ব বৈঠক শনিবাৰে দুই DGMOৰ কেইবা ঘণ্টা ধৰি বৈঠকৰ অন্তত হৈছিল যুদ্ধবিৰতি আজি দুই DGMOৰ দ্বিতীয় পৰ্যায়ৰ আলোচনা গুলি চলালে এবাৰ চলিব কিন্তু গোলা পাকিস্তানে আক্ৰমণ কৰিলে এবাৰ ভয়ংকৰৰ পৰা ভয়ংকৰ হ'ব প্ৰত্যাক্ৰমণ সংবাদ মেলত ঘোষণা কৰিলে DGMO ৰাজীৱ ঘায়ে ইতিমধ্যে সকলো কমাণ্ডাৰক প্ৰত্যাক্ৰমণৰ নিৰ্দেশ সেনা প্ৰধানৰ
We have earlier today sent another hotline message to my counterpart highlighting these violations of the understanding between the DGMOs on the 10th of May and our firm and clear intent to respond to these fiercely and punitively, if repeated tonight, subsequently or later. In this regard, I must inform all of you that the Chief of Army Staff has earlier today conducted a security review and has granted full authority to our army commanders for counter-actions in the kinetic domain in case of any violation by Pakistan.
আৰু পাকিস্তানৰ বহু যুদ্ধ বিমান ধ্বংস কৰিছে ভাৰতে পাকিস্তানৰ তিনিটাকৈ এয়াৰ বেছ ধ্বংস কৰা হৈছে 7টা এয়াৰ ফিল্ডত কৰা হৈছে ভয়ংকৰ আক্ৰমণ এয়া প্ৰত্যাক্ৰমণ আচলতে ভাৰতৰ যেহেতু পাকিস্তানে বাৰে বাৰে উচতাইছিল DGMOৰ সংবাদ মেলত এইখিনি তথ্য সম্পূৰ্ণকৈ প্ৰকাশ কৰা হৈছে
Operation Sindur was conceptualized with a clear military aim to punish the perpetrators and planners of terror and to destroy their terror infrastructure. What I do not state here, of course, is the often stated determination of India and its intolerance to terror. It set into motion a very diligent and microscopic scarring of the terror landscape across the borders and the identification of terror camps and training sites. The locations that emerged were numerous, but as we deliberated more, we realized that some of these terror hubs were now bereft of any presence and had preemptively been vacated, fearing retribution from us. There was also a term of reference and our own binding, self-imposed restriction to target only terrorists and thus prevent collateral damage. There were 9 camps that you are now all familiar with, which were confirmed by our various intelligence agencies to be inhabited. Some of these were in POJK, while there were others that were located in the Punjab province in Pakistan. Nefarious places such as Muridke, the hub center of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, has over the years bred infamous characters such as Ajmal Kasab and the likes of David Headley. What followed was a careful scrutiny of each of these sinister locations, their layout, configuration, even the type of construction in each structure, and the terrain obtained around these. This was with an obvious intent to deduce and identify the exact vector that was required for their neutralization, as also the eyes in the sky that we would send up to ensure that we brought back evidence that we had indeed targeted what we set out to.
আৰু আন্তঃৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় অসামৰিক বিমানকো ঢাল হিচাপে লৈছিলে পাকিস্তানে সেইখিনি কথা বাৰে বাৰে পাকিস্তানৰ এই যে এক টেকটিক হে বাৰে বাৰে উদঙাইছে ভাৰতে পশ্চিম ভাৰতৰ বায়ুসেনাৰ ঘাটিত আক্ৰমণৰ চেষ্টা পাকিস্তানৰ সকলো আক্ৰমণৰ চেষ্টাক প্ৰতিহত কৰিছে ভাৰতে সুন্দৰকৈ ভাৰতৰ এয়াৰ ষ্ট্ৰাইকত ৩৫ৰ পৰা ৪০ পাক সেনা নিহত হোৱাৰ তথ্য আহিছে আমাৰ কাম আক্ৰমণ কৰা মৃতদেহ গণাটো নহয় এই মন্তব্য ডিজিএমৰ সংবাদমেলত
We carefully selected the targets, and out of the 9 selected targets, the target systems that were given to the Indian Air Force were the notorious training camps at Bhavalpur and Muridke, these being further from the international boundary. Through critical target system analysis, we analyzed what was to be done to annihilate these targets and plan to engage these targets with precision air-to-surface guided munitions so as to avoid collateral damage. The modalities of planning process I will not go through at this instant. However, what I would like to show you is the results that we achieved through our targeted airstrikes. In the evening of 7th of May, we were saturated with a raid of Pakistani unmanned aerial vehicles and small drones. And these came in waves in our civilian areas, over our military installations, and all of them were successfully intercepted. Few of them did manage to land. However, there was not much damage that they did. And we have our robust counter-US hard kill and soft kill systems, which did the job. However, the difference here was that we had targeted the terrorists. The adversary now has targeted our civilians and the military infrastructure. So it had to be responded to. So in a quick and calibrated response, that very night, we struck their radar installations at Lahore and close to Gujranwala, the LYT installation, to indicate to him that we are ready, yet we do not want to escalate. Our fight was with the terrorists and not with the Pakistani military establishment.
আৰু হিমান্তত ভাৰতৰ প্ৰত্যাক্ৰমণত নিহত বহু পাক সেনা হিমান্তত প্ৰায় 40 জন পাক সেনা নিহত হৈছে এই তথ্য প্ৰদান কৰিছে এখন সংবাদমেলতে
As part of this escalation control mechanism, the application of force by the Navy was planned in a synchronized manner in coordination with the Army and Air Force, the highlight being teams from the 3 services working closely in an integrated manner. Along with the kinetic actions by the Indian Army and Indian Air Force, the overwhelming operational edge of Indian Navy at sea contributed towards Pakistan's urgent request for a ceasefire yesterday. As we speak, Indian Navy remains deployed at sea in a credible deterrent posture to respond decisively to any inimical action by Pakistan or Pakistan-based terrorists.